Hi everybody, this is Renata. If you are anything like me, when I first discovered that I was being targeted and first discovered that I was put into a program, I had a million questions. Why is this happening to me? Who put me in this program? What is this all about? I thought because I had such a heavy police presence around me from the beginning, and still do, that it had to be a case of mistaken identity, because I know that I'm not a criminal, that I haven't done anything wrong. So I had all these questions and never really got answers, because we as targeted individuals, we just don't get answers. No one will confirm that we're even in a program, number one. So they definitely will not confirm who put us in the program. You do have some targets who say they know exactly who put them in the program, and they know why, because maybe they were told that they would be put in the program. But I was not one of those people. As time went on, I decided to just let that go, not to even try to figure it out anymore, because it was just too much. I just decided to just let it go. When I saw the Jesse Ventura documentary, I think that was maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, Brain Invaders, and I'm sure every targeted individual has seen that by now, but if you have not, I believe you can find it on YouTube. He interviewed several targeted individuals and they told their story. And I listened to it, and I thought it was a good documentary. I thought that it told our story well. Jesse Ventura came to the conclusion that targeted individuals were telling the truth. He proved that, technology does exist to harm people, and that we are being targeted. So I thought it was a good documentary. The next morning when I woke up, a light bulb went on in my head. And I started replaying in my mind how the one lady said that she called the White House repeatedly. I can't remember what her complaint was, but she called over and over. Another person said that he was a retired police officer, and I forget what the others said. But I kept playing over in my mind that these people said government, government, government. And then it made me realize that when I first discovered I was being stalked, I was working for the government. And some things that had transpired there were not good when I was working there. And so I came to the conclusion that they may have put me in the program. That is where I first discovered I was being stalked. And now that I look back, I was being workplace harassed there as well, but just did not realize it. And so I come to the conclusion that maybe it was them that put me in the program. But as I said, I will never be able to confirm that. So I'm okay with that. But then too, on the same token, as many targets can tell you, the further we think back, the more we realize the targeting really does go back even further. So it's one of those things, again, we may never be able to confirm it, but just kind of having a little clarity about what happened and why, it kind of helps to move forward. So that is the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is not to make anyone angry. If you do, think you come to the conclusion of who put you in this program, you don't want to become angry. You don't want to lash out on anyone. You don't even want to, play it over in your mind a lot, because I truly believe that the Lord will reveal everything to you in time. Because if I had realized that these people who I was working for had put me in the program, if I had even thought about that at the time I was working there, I probably could not have handled that. It probably would have made me really, really upset. So I think I know that the Lord reveals things to us in the times where he knows that we can handle it. Okay, so you don't want to spend too much time. Like I said, I had come to the point where I just let it go. I had just let that whole topic go of who put me in and why. So you don't want to spend too much time focusing on it. But I just wanted to give a few reasons why I believe people are put into this program. And again, there could be a trillion reasons, but none of the reasons are legitimate because nobody should be tortured. This is a crime against humanity, and nobody should have to suffer like this every day. But I'll just go ahead and give you the list that I came up with, okay? Okay, religious. Scientology has been in the news a lot lately because they put people in this program on a regular basis. And there's been a lot of talk about it in the news, all on the internet. Even some celebrities have said that they have been stalked and harassed by Scientologists. Mormons also put people in the program. Christians put people in the program. Different cults put people in the program. If people defect from a cult, they may find themselves put in a program like this. Okay. Also, you may be a person who has strong religious beliefs. Your dedication to your God or your religion may be so strong that some people consider it extreme. And something like that can get you targeted. It shouldn't, because you should be able to have as close a relationship as you want with your God. But that will get you targeted. Many Muslims right now are being targeted just simply for being Muslim, because all of a sudden there's this stigma on Muslims that they are terrorists, which I think is ridiculous, because anyone with any kind of intelligence knows that not all of any group, would be a Muslim. But Muslims are definitely being targeted. It could be a corporation. Corporations put people in programs like this a lot. It could be due to a lawsuit or an action, a workers' comp claim. You could have been a whistleblower, had some sort of disagreement with your boss or one of the higher ups at work. You could work with sensitive information. I don't think people consider the fact that if you work with sensitive information, if you work somewhere like NASA or some of these other government agencies or even law firms where you're dealing with sensitive information, confidential information, you could possibly be targeted for that. Not that you've done anything wrong, but they want to keep you from disclosing that information. Now, you had no idea when you applied for that job that it would get you targeted. But it happens. It really happens a lot. Law firms put people in programs like this a lot. And again, that could go back to the sensitive information, but also a lot of attorneys have inflated egos. So if you cross them, they can definitely put you in programs like this. Teachers who may speak up for the students or speak up, about something they see that's not right in the school system, they may get targeted. There's a YouTube video out there where some instructors from a community college are saying that they are being targeted. One of the male teachers said that he stood up for a student who was being targeted, and then he became targeted. So anything like that could potentially get you targeted. Parents who go to the school board complaining about things, that could get you targeted. Let's see. Number 3, political views. Any kind of extreme political views, strong views that you may have, comments left in chat rooms or forums or social media. You might tweet something out or say something on Facebook. They do have their trolls out there watching, believe me. And these type of things can get you targeted. Any kind of Google searches you may do. I don't know if you guys know, but Google saves all of your searches forever. They never delete them. Now, that does not mean that you are searching anything that, is dangerous or that means anything, to anybody. But they have these keywords that they look for. And that could get you targeted. Some of these things the government considers to be a threat, especially when we're living in this generation where everybody is a potential terrorist. You have to be careful. There is a search engine that is just as strong as Google, and it's called Ixquick. Ixquick. Does everything that Google does. Google says that Ixquick says that they never save your searches. Okay, and again, it doesn't mean that you're searching anything that means anything to anybody, but just for that added safety, you may want to consider, because Google saves everything. Alrighty. Also, YouTube videos such as this. You have extreme, what they would consider to be extreme viewpoints or strong viewpoints. Or you are a person who tells the truth, who doesn't bite your tongue. That could get you targeted because, again, it's all monitored. All monitored. Any type of activism. Right now, they have the Black Lives Matters group of people that shut down the San Francisco Bridge. They chained cars together. This was yesterday. They changed cars together. The cars couldn't get through. People were running out of gas. A lot of those activists will be targeted if they're not already. Their names will go into some supercomputer somewhere, and they'll be targeted. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. Sandra Bland, that is why she died. Because she was an activist. I believe that they knew exactly who she was when they pulled her over. And she was ultimately killed. So these type of things get you targeted or worse. Okay? Number 4, you could have been born into this program. You could have had a parent or both parents who were targeted. And because you are their child, you are targeted as well. You could have a family member that you're very close to, maybe you hang out with, that could get you targeted. A sibling that you hang out with who was targeted before you were, a friend who was targeted. And that's not to discourage anyone, but it's just the truth. Because anyone who hangs around a target for a period of time, a long period of time, they will more than likely be targeted. More than likely. Maybe you dated someone who was a target. Maybe you were married to someone who was a target. Eventually, you'll be targeted. Any kind of sympathizer, anyone who may help a target financially on a regular basis, or give a target a place to stay because they need a place to stay. They will probably be targeted as well. Any kind of land disputes may get people targeted. Inheritance. I do know some targets who feel that their siblings put them in this program over inheritance money. Homeschooling, those type of things will get you targeted because you are not allowing your child to be mind controlled in the public school system. You prefer to educate your children at home. and that makes them upset because they want to be able to indoctrinate your child. So you and your child will probably get targeted. If you are the type of parent who refuses vaccinations for your children because you don't want that poison in your children's body, that will probably get you targeted because your pediatrician will turn your name over to the government as a person who refuses the vaccinations. And that will more than likely get you and your child targeted. People are targeted just for sport, just because. No reason, just because they're training some perpetrators and they pick someone. A lot of times it's a homeless person or a mentally ill person or a loner, and they will target you. Complaints to places like the Housing Authority, that'll get you targeted. Certain lawsuits will get you targeted, depending on who you're suing. I said Housing Authority. Also, landlords. It doesn't have to be Housing Authority. It could be your regular apartment complex or a house you're renting. Landlords have people targeted on a regular basis, especially if it's a slumlord and you're complaining about the conditions of where you live. People like myself who go down to City Hall to speak out about different things, that'll get you targeted. Gets me targeted harder. I think I said, did I say someone that you dated or were married to? It is very common for women who were married to police officers or men who were married to police officers, because there are female officers as well. They will have their buddies to target them. I kind of lost my place here, but I don't know if I mentioned Masonic connections. Now, Masons and Eastern Stars actually are known to target people, but also their relatives get targeted sometimes. Now, I have no idea why, but I've talked to several people who said that their father was a Mason or their grandfather was a Mason or their brother was a Mason, and now they themselves are targeted. Now, I don't know if their Masonic family members had them targeted or some other people in the Masons, but Mason connections can get you targeted. Also, Eastern Star connections or any of those other lodges like that can get you targeted. Military connections can also get you targeted. And again, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if the military is the one targeting the people. I'm not sure how that goes, but a lot of children of military parents have been targeted. So those are some of the reasons I came up with. Again, there's probably 50 million thousand, but none of them are legitimate reasons. It should not be happening at all, but it does. It does. And I know that just about every target wonders, like I did, why and who's doing this, and we get very little answers. So that's why I wanted to do this video. But when the rubber meets the road, it really does not matter who put you in the program. It really doesn't. What matters is that you learn to lean on God, to ask God to lead you through this, because it's really very hard to deal with for all of us. Get involved in activism so that you're standing up for yourself. You're learning to take your power back and keep yourself strong. Just keep yourself strong. That's all I wanted to say. God bless and stay strong, everybody.